What's up, guys? I'm excited today to interview another one of my colleagues, Chasitey Kyle. Chastity, for those of you guys that don't know, she is our new team leader here in the Knoxville area. She's actually replaced my wife as the Knoxville team lead. So big shoes to fill. What's going on, Chastity?
Not a whole lot. Busy day at the office, so a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, today's Tuesday, team meeting day, so I know that is a lie saying it's not. So, for those of you guys don't know, Chastity's been with my team for how long? You been with us, Chastity?
It was 1 year last Thursday.
1 year last Thursday. So, tell everybody about who you are and where you came from and how long you've been in the business.
So I'm Chastity. I am first and foremost a mom of five. So got a lot of things going on, but I'm here from the Knoxville area in Powell. I have been there since middle school. So love it. Don't have a desire to leave. I like to visit other places and then come back. But yeah, I decided to go into real estate almost 2 years ago. I took the course July of 2019, but did not hang my license until February of 2020. So last year, started with a different brokerage, great people. They're locally in the Powell area. Love them to pieces, but was at a standstill in the middle of COVID with my business taking off the way I wanted to. So made the transition in May to our home.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, guys. So I knew Chastity through her husband. Her husband had done some work, helped us. They own a plumbing company, and she had gotten in real estate. Never even called or talked to us. They're just like, "Hey, we're gonna go with this other company." And she had been in the business for a little while. I talked to her husband about it, and I said, "Girl, what are you doing? You need to come talk to us." And elaborate how that conversation went, Chastity. This was about a year ago to the last May, I think is when we first had that conversation.
Well, first conversation, I shut it down, but we had another conversation.
That's right. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, you persistent little guy. No, but I finally opened, just opened my ears and was like, okay, we'll meet, we'll talk. And came in to the other office there and sat down, and I was still pretty close-minded. Like, I don't want to be a part of a team. So I don't want to be a part of a team. I want to be an independent agent, I think I can do this. I know I can do this, but yeah, by the end of the meeting and really evaluating, the tools that you provide here, it changed my mind. So here I am a year later as
a year later
Knoxville team lead.
Now she's running the business, guys. That's funny. So I'll put it in simple, guys. Chastity shut it down. She's like, I don't want to work for anyone else. I just want to work for myself. She was like, why are you asking me all these questions about my goals and all this? And it was funny because we butted heads big time. And genuinely, we wanted to know what her goals were, what she wanted to accomplish. And she just thought we were being nosy. And she finally, I think about month 3 or 4, you finally started to identify like the what we were asking was all pure, that we wanted to help you out, and then you started crushing it. So how many deals did you do before you came to Our Home Real Estate with the other brokerage?
One. So I had one.
Look, guys, just no shameless plug. Now she's got her sign and everything on all of our signs there as well. Oh, no plug. There's my big fish too. So hey, listen, when you go out and crush it, you get to go to Cabo for work trips and you get to go catch big fish. So all right. So you've been with us now for a year. You're at another brokerage before. What's your unit and volume count now?
So actually, we've added to it. So the last time I looked, I think now it is 35 units and should be right at 10.8 million.
Wow. Wow. So 10.8 million. And we just talked to your competitor, Willie, last week, and he's on his way to 10 million as well. Y'all actually started the same day, correct?
The same day. Yep. So he's my buddy.
Yeah. So you are the top one of some of the top sales guys. So talk to me about that. So you did 35 deals for 10.8 million. So the national average is about 3 to 4 deals for 1.8 million combined total. How were you able to go out and grow your business in less than a year? You went from one company, you're there for a few months, did one deal, and literally in 12 months, you've done, really, and that 10 million puts you in the top, I think, 5 or 7%. I'll have to go back and look at the numbers in the entire United States. How were you able to accomplish that?
Persistence. I mean, following.
Isn't that what you said about me?
There we go. All right. Okay. So, well, I mean, what was the deciding factor to come here was access to the leads. That was something that I needed, being new in the business. How do you get people? How do you attract people? Because people go with the big names that they know. So, I was the little guy and in the middle of a pandemic. So, that did not help anything. So leads are what attracted me. And, being on the phones, being consistent, being in front of my people, because I always say everybody knows 5 or 6 realtors. Like you have to, but they always forget when it's time to pick one, or they go with like whoever, is most convenient. Sometimes it's a neighbor. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're most qualified. So just being in front of people, being on the phones, which right now I know some people have said like, oh, do you cold call? Absolutely not. This is not cold calling. These are people that are shopping for houses online, which right now with so many out of town buyers, how else do they get an agent? So you're putting yourself in front of them. And it's just that, honestly, when I saw, how things were set up here, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah. So 34, let's just call it, it's basically 3 a month, 35, 3 a month. Do you feel as if you had just an upper hand, or were you given anything? Like, how were you able to accomplish that? Because don't you've got a family too, correct?
I do. 5 kids.
5 kids, guys. She's got a tribe. She legitimately has a basketball team at her household every single day. And so walk me through. So for other moms, there's a lot of moms in this business. How are you able to compartmentalize and basically be proactive in your days to be able to accomplish basically 3 transactions a month?
Really just setting aside the time. And what's great about this business and what I loved was that you can do a lot of it on the go. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I set aside, our meetings are on Tuesday and Thursday. So going into this, I absolutely committed to being in the office Tuesday and Thursday. So I put the babies in when I made the transition to our home. So my kids range from 16 down to 3. So 2 of them were not in school, but I put them 16. In Mother's Day out, right?
Dang, how can you have 116? Aren't you only 28?
Yes, I am. Thank you. I don't have an answer. But no, so I put them in Mother's Day out, which gave me Tuesday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2. So I was like, okay, these are my designated work days and absolutely nothing is going to stop that. So I was in the office, just following the guidelines, of, the path to success really that you guys have created. And that's absolutely what I did. So I stacked as much as I could on Tuesday, Thursday, and let overflow come in on Wednesday. Obviously, real estate never sleeps, but the rest of that, I don't necessarily have to be in the office for. So I can do it all remotely. I am on my phone, throughout the day. I'm never really without it because that is how I make a living. But, and in this market, to service our clients well, you have to be available. So Yeah, just go on the go and, throw the kids in the car to go show a house if you've got, if you have to. It's like, hey guys, we'll grab ice cream. I don't care. Just come
Yeah.
on, be
Come
quiet.
on, come hop in the
Yeah.
bus. So,
So,
so doing that. So walk me through. So as an agent new to the business, right? For if I were looking at, structure of the business, I mean, that would be an inspiration for me to see another mom being able to do it, but not only a mom, but a mom of 5, which, I mean, we joke, I'm like, do you ever, do you ever have enough on your plate? I mean, that's a running joke in the office. But walk me through what's like for other agents to be able to see your success, like walk me through and walk them through what the biggest struggles and the biggest hurdles that you had to overcome to be able to get to where you are.
keeping my sanity. I tell everybody the hardest part of this job is keeping everybody happy. Struggle wise is, I think most people struggle with it, is the mental part of being discouraged, because you do hear more no's than yeses. I mean, and you cannot please everybody 100% of the time. My biggest struggle was, over this past year, is also learning how to do what is right for the client, but then also don't be taken advantage of, because some people do not appreciate realtors. Sure. And I know that before I got in the business, I didn't understand what all they actually did. Some
Sure.
people think that you don't actually work hard. And I mean, there have been times that, I'm writing an offer at 11 o'clock at night, or have to be up at 8 a.m. to make sure to finish it, to get it in on time, because deadlines are so vital. But really the hardest part for me personally is just, having tough skin and really understanding the value that we as agents bring.
Yeah. So that leads me to a topic that we talk about all the time, is working with our ICPs, right? For everyone that doesn't understand that, walk them through what your ICP looks like.
Ideal client profile.
Yeah.
Hey, lots of people would say, oh, I want to work with, $500,000 buyers. My ICP is, you appreciate me. Like, you don't have to do anything else, but just appreciate that, like, I am working for you. So there's a lot you don't see. My goal is to take as much off your shoulders as possible. But yeah, my ICP is just someone who appreciates what a realtor does, even if you don't see it.
Yeah, no. So, and that's something that we talk about all the time, but for those who maybe are just tuning in, Tony Robbins, I was at a Tony Robbins conference, and we talked about ideal client profiles. And that's exactly, you kind of nailed that on the head. It's the type of client that you want your business to surround yourself with. And I don't think that anyone would want to work with someone who didn't value and appreciate them. And I preach it, to everybody. My first instinct as a team lead is to make sure my agents are taken care of before my clients, which some people would think that's completely counterproductive. But I believe in our philosophy, and it's been showing, it's been going leaps and bounds, is make sure that your agents are taken care of, and so will the clients. And so I tell, and you have too, right? It's okay to fire a client, because if they don't appreciate you and value you, you're never going to be able to do enough. So, especially as a mom of 5, I think you've absolutely crushed that. So, so let's move on and talk about what's the biggest impact that you've had either here or EXP or your business, whatever that's been. What's been the biggest impact in your career to get you to where you're at today?
I mean, the biggest impact would be direction and training that is here. I had a deal before I came here, but I I mean, everything was so foreign. I knew there would be a learning curve, but whoa. So all the training is just incredible. That's the biggest impact. I mean, here you are walked through every single step of the process. There are videos to watch. There are people to reach out to that are happy and eager to help and train you, not resentful. Not that I had that experience, but I have now talked to several people who did not hang their license with us and have come back to me saying, hey, I was going somewhere else and no one's ready to help me. So that is the biggest impact. I think, of course, leads, obviously, but then training and guidance and direction has put me here because I am a true believer that with the tools I've been given here, if I can do this, anyone can do this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's a prime example. Obviously, your work ethic is very high. You have to do the work. But I mean, for sure, having the structure in place, that was my biggest frustration when I first started is I didn't have any structure, and I used to just get so frustrated. And I just remember, like, if someone gives me the blueprint, the blueprint, I'll go build the house, So, and you've done the exact same thing. Here's the blueprint, run with it. And I mean, you built already your first year at 11 million. You're on your way this year. I think that we were calculating numbers, chasing down 15 to 20 million, which will put you just, at the very, very top of the pack there. So next question. So when we decided to make the transition to EXP, you were one of the first people to say, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Why did you feel the EXP was the right fit for us to take our entire team from an independent brokerage to EXP?
The model is genius. I mean, I instantly said, oh, no brainer. Yeah. I have the text, and that's what I said. What attracted me was the fact that I didn't have to change anything. I didn't have to change anything, but I have potential to have, passive income, residual income. I mean, I'm all for that. I do have 5 kids at home, and the older ones are getting more and more expensive. So I really loved the idea of not having to do anything any differently, and yet having more, the potential to make more, because ultimately that's why I work.
Yeah, absolutely. Elaborate on that a little bit more. So explain to the audience on you said the residual incomes and passive income. How are you able to do that?
So anywhere anyone works, I mean, you talk to your friends, your family, your colleagues, if you make a move that benefits you, people just naturally talk about that. Mm-hmm. This business is a prime example of other agents. If you're having success or something is better, from one brokerage to the next, people typically reach out, or you just talk about it. Well, when you bring other agents in with EXP, they're literally going to pay you every year for them being being profitable, for them having success, for their success. You get paid for that. So I am then incentivized to help, at this point, even new agents, teach them what I'm doing, just because, and thankfully I have had several people reach out to me because I have had success in year 1. And so I can help teach them what I've done just this past year and literally get paid. They don't have to pay me, but the company is turning around and paying me for literally helping them doing what I'm doing. Yeah. That's awesome.
So what you're telling me is the company is paying you to do what you're already doing and teach other people exactly what you're doing, which that's what we, as our home, that's our philosophy, right? Elevate. So right above your head, elevate your team and your peers. That's one of our core values. One of the things that we talk about is going out and helping and training. And really, I mean, I think that we're a training company that just so happens to sell real estate. We do that exceptionally well. And so, I mean, you were one of the first people that said, dude, this is a no-brainer, and I think that you said something to the tune of one day that you will have the option to, if you want to sell houses, you have the option to, but you're not required to, because you'll have enough residual income coming through. And I thought that was a very powerful statement, because it's true. I mean, there's people that have been in business for years and years and years. There's team leaders just like us that have, pretty much pass the baton to someone else, because now they're making income from helping multiple people. And I think that's one thing with what EXP to me is a symbol of growth and opportunity for others, where other companies are more narrow-minded, and the agents don't necessarily get along with each other. It's more competition. And I feel like with EXP it's more collaboration, which has been a huge benefit, and that's why they're growing as fast as they are. I think that now they're up to 15 countries that they're in. And for those that don't know, they went from 0 to 15,000 agents in 9 years. The next 2 years, they went another 15,000 agents. In the last 6 months, they've added another 18,000 agents. And so they're just duplicating, and because people are seeing the value on that. So last question, Chastity, last question. If you could go back and tell your brand new real estate self, which isn't too far along ago, if you could go back and give your brand new freshly licensed self any tips and advice, what would that be?
Well, one, have tough skin, but two, come to our home. Don't wait. I mean, I've thought about that several times. So happy for the people that I met, and for seeing how seasoned agents work. But yeah, I wish that I could have just started out from the beginning here, because that was 90 days worth of business that I could have had added to my list now.
Yeah, you've been at 45 transactions, what I'm hearing.
Right.
That's awesome. Well, listen, I appreciate you tuning in, hopping in. I know that you've got a tight schedule, so I appreciate that. For those of you guys that maybe want to get in contact with Chastity, what's the best way that they reach you?
Hey, call or text me, 865-963-9074. Or shoot me an email. It's Chastity, make sure you spell it right, at OH865.
Awesome. Well, listen, guys, we appreciate you guys another week tuning in. And if y'all want to ask Chastity any questions on how she went from 0 to almost 11 million in her first year, I know she'd be happy to share that with you. Talk to you soon.